Guys, so, as you know, over the past 3 weeks, we have been discussing the values and the characteristics it takes to be a leader. And now that we're almost done with the class, we have to pose the question, where do we go from here? And for all 4 years of high school, I was a coxswain for the crew team. And as a coxswain, my role was to steer the boat, motivate the rowers, and to lead them. Um, and my coach would give me directions, and I would follow through with them without the rowers knowing what was going on. So I would have to follow through with the race plan, with the practice pieces, tell them what to do. They would have to listen because we were on the water and they didn't have a choice. They would have to trust me with boat traffic, with debris, with telling them where they are. I was the eyes, the ears, the brain of the boat. They had to focus on rowing. I had to focus on everything else. And so I had to, with them trusting in me with that, in turn, I had to trust them to row their hardest. And that's the thing about leadership. It's a two-way street. I had to trust in their trust in me, and I had to be confident in my abilities as a coxswain, but also be open to constructive criticism. Because of that experience, I have learned what it takes to be in control. When we were out on the water, it was me who was in control of everything that was going on. I will use that experience and what I learned in class in my future. With all of those professions, so I currently do not know what I want to do with my life. Maybe I'll be a teacher or a novelist or a youth pastor, maybe one of them, maybe all of them, I don't know. But with all of those professions, I can get in front of a crowd. I can inspire people with my words, with my actions. I can lead them to Jesus. I can put them in a place that is good for them. I can guide them and inspire and lead them. And I will probably choose one of those professions because I want to inspire people, because I want to have a legacy. I want people to say, hey, Catherine did this for me. But in order to inspire other people, I have to have followers. And because I want to inspire other people, followers, but in order to have followers, I have to be a leader. A very inspirational person and influential person in my life is my mom. She's kind, she's compassionate, humble, strong, courageous. She teaches us to use those qualities in our everyday lives because she believes that we should treat people with kindness and respect. She expresses her weaknesses and her failures, and she owns up to them because she knows she is not perfect. She does not hesitate to admit fault and will immediately apologize. She leads us and inspires us to move in the right direction. She is a strong leader because she does what is right, even if it's not popular with us. She is a strong leader because she possesses the feminine qualities explained in Buchanan's article. She has empathy, quote, empathy, vulnerability, humility, inclusiveness, generosity, balance, and patience. In Cruz's and Posner's article, they said everyone has the capacity to lead, whether or not they are in a formal position of authority or even part of an organized group. That's what we mean when we say leadership is everyone's business. I hope to become more confident, but also be willing and able to take criticism as a means to make me a better leader, and I hope I will be willing to rise up when the time comes. In the Ethical Leadership article, it says, people had choices. Many individuals actively participated in the stigmatization, isolation, impoverishment, and violence culminating in the mass murder of 6 million European Jews. The choices people made during the Holocaust affected many other people's lives who did not have a choice. All it would have took was one person to rise up, defend the people who couldn't. When people see someone risk themselves for a greater cause, they become inspired. More people will join the cause and it will become greater. The people will get stronger, and soon the thing that was once so scary isn't looming as large anymore because there's an army of people attacking it. Because one person stood up, they gained watchers, and those watchers turned into followers, and that person just became a leader. In Griffith's article, he said, Jefferson Davis wasn't above forgiving an offense or apologizing when he believed he had wronged or offended a subordinate. In Coutue's article, he said, again and again, Lincoln shared responsibility for others' mistakes, and so people became very loyal to him. Both Davis and Lincoln had different beliefs, but they had the same humility it takes to be a leader. I still have no clue what I want to do with my life, but by using everything that I have learned, I hope to inspire others with whichever path I take. So to answer the question, where do we go from here? We accept the leaders we have, whether we voted for them or not. We become the leaders of our own lives because we are the one thing in life we can control. We wake up in the morning with the mentality that there are problems to resolve and a world to change. If we cannot lead ourselves, how can we lead others? We lead ourselves and others who are willing to follow with humility and grace, confidence and patience, loyalty and empathy. Every person who looks up to us is someone we should inspire and guide. Thank you.